How? How did I get here again? I don't know. I had it all figured out. I had a perfect plan. I had it all figured out. I was excited. I was hopeful. I knew exactly what I had to do. But now, nothing. Why do I have so much fun planning things, and why do I have so little energy doing anything? Let's recap. It is a sunny day in autumn, and you can't think of anything better but to enjoy the sunshine and nature. You walk a lot, you're listening to the birds and the wind. What can be more inspiring than that? And as you sit down, you take in the beauty of your surroundings. As you do, you have another idea. It just comes to you. This is the one you have to jot down. That day, as you come home, you are super excited. You sit down, you start working on your plan right away. You dream of your future life, how successful it will be. And that evening is wonderful. You finally made it. This big idea you always wanted to realize, tomorrow is the day of new beginnings. The next morning, you wake up as normal, you peel yourself out of bed, make a cup of coffee. You notice your notebook, you go back to your last thoughts, but there is no time right now. There are things that need your attention now. So why is it that we engage in this kind of behavior? Why is it that we make plans and we have much fun planning things out and get very excited about the work that we do? And then the next morning we forget all about it. We just don't have the motivation anymore. There are really three main reasons for that. One of the problems we have is that when we get excited, when we have a dream, we only focus on the dream itself. We focus on the end outcome, we focus on the things that make us happy, and we very rarely focus on the actual obstacles or the hard work that's involved. The second explanation is something that we call time inconsistency. And what that means is that when we make a plan, when we have a dream, when we have a goal, we do that for our future self. The future self is very aware of the long-term benefits of our course of action. Of course, the future self knows that when we pursue our dream, when we achieve our goals, when we live up to our own expectations, we will be happy, we feel successful, we feel fulfilled. And that is certainly something that the future self, the brain for the future self, wants to recognize. However, when it comes to taking action, those have to happen in the here and now. And that is very different for our brain because it is used to instant gratification, which is why we like to scroll through our Facebook feed and our Instagram feed, and why we get excited when our phone makes that bing noise for the next text message. And the third reason why we may not be taking any action is that we do not keep our dreams alive. We get up in the morning and suddenly we replace that dream with all the necessary things that we have to do in the day. So first of all, we still have that dream and that vision in our lives, which then becomes an interesting idea. And after that, it becomes just a possibility, and ultimately, it becomes a distant memory. So if those are the reasons why we are not taking any action, the question is, what are the solutions to that? Well, first of all, we should not only spend time on thinking and dreaming about our goals and aspirations and think about the time when we achieve all these things, but we can also spend a little bit of time on the obstacles and the hard work that we sometimes have to put into it. Because if we make ourselves aware of those things, we are far more persistent in the pursuit of those goals. The solution to time inconsistency is basically us beating procrastination. And there are a couple of strategies that we can pursue. Procrastination isn't new, it has been part of human life for a very long time. And in the summer of 1830, there was a guy, Victor Hugo, and he was a writer, but he was also a master in procrastination. And he had a book deal with somebody, and he was supposed to write this book within a year or a year and a half. And he was more excited about hosting parties and inviting people into his house, and he was not spending any time at all in writing this book. So ultimately, as it became summer of 1830, the publisher called him and he said, "I'm setting you a very hard deadline. In February of 1831, you have to deliver the complete book." And that seemed absolutely impossible to him. And clearly he was worried about it, and he needed the income from it, and he needed the recognition for it. So he designed a plan for himself that designed future actions. And his solution was quite ingenious, but also maybe a little bit unusual. He asked his staff to lock all his clothes away. I'm not saying you have to lock all your clothes away, but if you have a goal, if you have a vision that you want to achieve, then you also know what your obstacles are. You also know the reasons why you procrastinate, or the activities that you engage in while procrastinating. And that can even be things like cleaning up the kitchen or organizing your folders on a computer, whatever it is. If you then design a plan for yourself that prevents you from doing those things, then you can fully focus on your dreams and goals. And that is one way to beat procrastination. And the other technique that I wanted to point out is called implementation intentions. And what you do here is you are very specific about what your course of action is. So if you plan to exercise, you wouldn't just say, well, I want to exercise, or I want to exercise 4 times a week, like I often did in my past, but you are very specific. So for example, you would now say something like, I will exercise at least 30 minutes on Wednesday after 4 o'clock, after I've done my work, and I'll do that just close to my house along the river. And now you have set an implementation intention for yourself. And because it is so specific, you ingrain in your mind already the desire that you want to fulfill it. You want to tick it off your to-do list. And it's not as fuzzy as, well, I have to exercise 4 times a week. I've done 2 times. Well, I don't have to do it today. I can still do it tomorrow. The final solution I want to point out is tackling the problem of keeping our dreams alive. And here you have to go deep into yourself, what works for you. Maybe you can take some time in a day to meditate and to remind yourself of all those great future benefits that your brain wants and is just a little bit prevented because of the short-term actions that it has to take. We all go to bed and we all get up in the morning, and we all have a lot of important and immediate things to do. But if we at least have one thing in our daily routine that helps us to keep that dream alive, to remind us of the long-term benefits, why we got so excited about our plan, then it helps us to keep the dream alive and to take consistent actions towards that dream. I can say that sometimes it feels like we can't do it. We are too weak. Maybe we say we have great ideas, we have great plans, we have great visions, but the execution is our weak part. And that just isn't true. At least it isn't more true for you than it is true for me and probably everyone else. But if we are aware of the concepts and the tools that we have in our kit to tackle those things, to tackle procrastination and to tackle the time inconsistency and keep our dream alive, then you will surpass your own expectations. My name is Leifert, and I really appreciate your support here on this channel. There's another part that helped me realize my dreams more effectively and not becoming frustrated, and that is a differentiation between dreams and goals. So I made a video about that not too long ago, which I link here on the screen. I will see you over there, and of course in the next video.